God. So God does such a good job creating that he creates you, but you are him, or it, if we don't say him. You are part of creation, but you do here, he does such a good job that you come out over here and you end up forgetting who you really are. You are part of God. You get the little story? So God's created all of us from his own source. So we are all God, but we forget that we are gods. We go through life and we don't feel like we are capable of doing that. Okay? So every time when you read on the spirits, the gospel according to Spiritism, when you hear the word God, you cannot think that this God is the God of most religions. When you hear on the gospel according to Spiritism, God won't allow it. It's not a person, a God that is allowed. God, with his supreme intelligence, created the universal laws. There was law of gravity. Why is the earth here? Why doesn't earth go spinning around far away from the sun? Because of gravity. Now, who creates gravity? Which is something that science still doesn't understand up to today. See? That was God. Right? So we look at his creation to realize that an intelligence is behind it. Are you with me? Okay? So when you hear God, it was like, what are the laws of the universe? The laws of charity, the laws of love, the laws of society, the laws. Those are laws that by his own intelligence govern us. The law of charity. In order for us to feel good, because if I'm seed of God, and you are the seed of God, and you are the seed of God, and we are all seed of God, and this whole planet is made by God, it is his creation. Of course, when you understand that, you don't have to tell me that I have to treat you right. Because I know that we are all connected, and if I treat you wrong, I am automatically making harm to myself. So I'm always going to be respectful to you. Always. Not because it's the right or wrong thing to do. It's just because that's the way the creation works. That's the way the intelligence works. I'm you, I'm you, you're me, we're connected to the plants, to the animals, to everything. And it is huge, beautiful, wonderful networking of God's creation. And we're all connected, all connected. So if I get that vision of God, you don't have to tell me how I need to act, right or wrong. Right? Okay. So every time in the Spiritism that you hear the word God, this is the God that the spirits are talking about. This is the God. A God who will respect your free will up until whatever you want to do, you're going to do. There is no God that's going to come and stopping you from doing whatever you want. Now, there is no God that's not going to stop anybody from doing whatever they want to do. Okay? So think as God as a creator, and think in you as a manager. He creates, you manager. Is it fair? Okay? You have your own creation already. You have everything already that you need to live. You have everything that you needed. But you need to manage. Okay? And with that management, and then come all other things that we're going to look. So God is a principle. We do believe in God, not the God that they're selling out there. Not this type of God. You getting the danger and why so many people today are not believing in God? You get the idea of God, it's wrong. They see in God as a manager. Most of religion do. God is not a manager. God is a creator. Okay? If you see God as a manager, every time something bad happens, they're going to ask, wait a minute, what about God? And God has nothing to do with that. Okay? If something happens to our lives, it has nothing, good or bad, has nothing to do with God. And then the second part is the immortality of the soul. And of course, all the religions believe in immortality of the soul. Every single one of them. If you don't believe in immortality of the soul, it's not a religion. What is the immortality of the soul means? It means that after you die, something happens. Okay? Spiritism also believes in that. Spiritists also believe in that. But we don't believe in the same way as other religions do. So I just brought the question 234, just for you guys to grasp it, what we believe. Are the words that serve as layovers and resting place for errant spirits? Errant spirits are spirits that are in between reincarnation. So when you die, you become an errant spirit, okay? So are there, look at this word, look at the question, guys. Are there what? Worlds. Worlds. And the spirits say yes. They are worlds that are especially adapted to temporary servant errant spirits. They are like campgrounds where spirits may live and rest briefly after being errant for extended period of time. So when you read André Luiz and you read Nossa and all the worlds that are out there, you know, that you can actually, where spirits may live. So you're not there doing nothing. You're not there just waiting for another reincarnation. You live there. Okay? And there's worlds over there. And then we have Nossa, and then we have other colonies that we see it all the time in the Spiritist books that are completely different from most of, you know, religions that you see out there. Now, do we believe in reincarnation? Yes, we do, but what happened to us? And also, this immortality here, and Kardec is going to talk about it, also explains what type of worlds are there. And then Allan Kardec will explain that, well, it will depend. You might be happier or not, depending on your vibration, depending what kind of world I'm going to go after I die, depends on your vibration. So you see, other religions that believe in immortality of the soul, how do they believe in the immortality of the soul? Few religions believe that they're going to sleep until the judgment day comes. Some people said that they think that they're going to live in heaven, in this paradise for the rest of their lives. Other believes that they, you know, when on others can go to hell. But then I actually asked this to one person that I asked her, I said, listen, if you go to heaven and by any chance your son go to hell, and how could you be happy, you know, knowing that your kid is your son or whatever is suffering in hell. So she told me that, oh no, we forget everything. I said, you forget who you are? Yeah, we forget everything, and we just live in heaven. You know, that's one. Is that belief in immortality of the soul? Yeah, because, right? But is that the way we believe? No. So it's completely different. So when you think about immortality of the soul, don't ever forget this world here. There was worlds out there. There was city out there that you can live. There was things to do. There was work that needs to be done over there. There was life going on. Thank God, Rafael. Yeah, there was life going on. Some life that are better than the others, but you know, still lives. And the next one, the basics, is the spirit communication. Does other religions believe in spirit communications? Yes, they do. How do we believe in spirit communication is completely different. Okay? So, one of the biggest contribution that I think that Allan Kardec left to us was the spirit communication, that it's different. Because look at this question here. I think it was 44. Look at this question here. This is on the Spirit's book. It says, does the spirit incarnated in the medium influence the communication he has to transmit from foreign spirits? So I'm sorry about this space here. So what is it? What it says that what Kardec is asking is if the medium actually influence the communication that he received. So if you are a medium and you receive a communication from the spirits, do you interfere in that communication? You as a medium. And the Spirit says, yes. So when you see a communication, I don't care how good of a medium you are, you're always going to interfere. You're going to have your own opinion. You're going to have your own little thought contributed on that. Look at Chico Xavier. Okay? Chico Xavier said it, that if a medium can be 50-50, 50% is the spirit and 50% is his own mind, if you can do that, you're a good medium. So the medium always interfere. So can we trust? I don't care who the medium asks. Can we trust 100%? No, we can't. We can't. Kardec teaches, use your own judgment. Look it, read it again, make sure it's correct, make sure it makes sense to you. Try to see if there's confirmation. Look at it. No one else does that in other religions, guys. No one does. A person came in the other day, and she told me that she received messages from Gabriel, you know, the angel Gabriel. And it's like, yeah, he writes, yeah, he signed his name. It's and the question that he was, what is that angel Gabriel is sending you a message? What do you think is he doing? Because that's what Allan Kardec taught us. Don't believe it. Why? Because the spirits can trick us easily. So do we believe in spirits communication? Yes, we do. But can we ask questions? Can we doubt? Allan Kardec said, you should. Not the exact minute, afterwards. You read your message, it comes from a spirit. So what does most of other religions do? They come over here, they receive a message, and most of us, we don't question. We just accept it because it came from a spirit. And Allan Kardec said, no. And he even goes further with this. He says, it's better for you to deny 10 truths than accepted one message that it's not right, that is not the truth. To deal with this. Because otherwise, what happens if we don't deal with this here, if we don't know how the science works, anybody can tell us anything, and we will always believe. And the worst part is, when you become a medium, and if I'm a medium, and Raphael questions my message, and said, but listen, Yonada, I don't know about this. Explain that to me. Would that make sense? What is this? And this is that, and this is that. I cannot be upset with him because he's doing his job. He's not questioning me. He's questioning the message. Why? Because he knows. And here is the answer. Yes, the medium interferes with the message. If he's not in sympathy with them, he may alter the answer. Now, it's not in purpose. Please understand that. It's not in purpose. It's not. One thing is that you receive a spirit and you actually using, and you want to, I don't know what you want, but you want to go ahead and pass your own words to your husband, to your wife, or to whatever. Okay? It's one thing. But when you do this, most of the mediums that does that, they don't know that they're doing that. It's not in purpose. It's not to trick you. You get it? It's just the way the science of the spirit works. We were here yesterday doing a psychographic workshop. And then afterwards, I was talking to Manny, and he actually made a good point with that. He said, people don't understand that when a spirit comes in to talk to a medium, it's kind of the same thing that we are here when it comes to technology, trying to make a robot move their arms and do the thinking for us. It's not an easy thing to do. So the connection between the medium and the spirit, it takes time, and the medium can alter because of his own mind, of his own beliefs. And then he interferes on a message. Even though the spirit, it's there. You, as a medium, interfere. The same thing when it comes to the mediumship, the healing mediumship. Why does Allan Kardec say that all the spirit cannot heal everybody? You know what he said? It's not because the person doesn't deserve to be healed, because everybody deserves to be healed. It's just because when the fluid goes to the medium hands and goes to the medium body to be transmitted to heal that person, the own fluid of the medium interferes. And then the fluid that was pure and capable of healing that person, it becomes mixed up with your own fluid. And then the results that you should have it as, 100%, you end up getting 40, 50% or whatever. So the medium needs to train, and Allan Kardec will tell you that one of the things that you can trust a medium over and over and over again, it's on his own life, how he conduct or he or she its own life. What are the transformation that the person is capable of doing because of the interference? So mediums needs to actually do a transformation to facilitate the work of the spirit. Okay? And that's huge. And then when you hear the word, when we talk about sympathy, he's talking about energy. Okay? And it's not that easy. And then, but he does not influence the spirit itself. He's only a bad interpreter. So what a medium? Interpreter. We're not the best interpreter ever yet. One of the biggest medium in the world, Chico Xavier, wrote 5 years of messages, wonderful message. First time that he met Emmanuel, you know, Emmanuel told him, everything in the garbage. That was only training. There is only training. So, isn't it this a huge contribution to the spirit? Why do you think less and less people are not believing in spirit's communication anymore? Why? Because they go to a medium, for an example, and the medium says 17 right things about them and 3 were wrong. They say, nah, don't believe it. 3 were wrong. Spirits doesn't communicate. Yes, they do, but the media can get it wrong. Even Chico Xavier got it wrong. I met a person that he said that every time the Chico Xavier you will visit Chico Xavier, and then you will walk in Chico Xavier and say, oh, are you from Minas? Are you from Rio? Are you from this place? And most of the time he was right. But he said, Yonara, but when I was there, I'm from Bahia. He asked me if I'm from São Paulo. So he made a mistake. You know? But most of the time he used to get it right. Okay? So mediums are not people that don't make mistakes. Okay? And when you do it, why there is less and less people believe in spirit's communication? Because we don't understand how it works. We don't understand the science behind. And no one's questioning anything anymore. Huge contribution of Allan Kardec. And then we have reincarnation. That's another base for Spiritism. And do we believe in reincarnation like everybody else believe? No, we don't. There are some people that believe in reincarnation. There is some other religions that believe in reincarnation, that you actually can be born again as a cow or a horse or a dog, and that's what they believe, and we don't. Allan Kardec says you don't go back, you move forward, okay? And then the question 166 said, how can a soul that has not reached perfection during corporeal life achieve purification? And then the Spirit says, by experience the trial of a new existence. There is a very interesting fact. You know that most of the spiritualism here in the United States does not believe in reincarnation. Are you guys aware of this? Yes, they don't. They don't believe in reincarnation. They believe life after death. They believe of spirit's communication, but they don't believe in reincarnation. So when spiritualism was here, and when they moved to France, the same idea was that reincarnation doesn't exist. And Allan Kardec did not believe in reincarnation at first. Look how beautiful this is. Look how he changed his mind. Because at first he said, no, there is no such a thing as reincarnation. But then he would start to send questions to mediums all over the place. And mediums will come back to him and say, yes, it exists. And then he has, and then he started to accept the idea and then started to ask the spirits how reincarnation was possible. And then he added at the basic principle. You know, it's just like there is studies and studies and studies today that if you don't believe in reincarnation, it's because you never read it. Because at the moment that you read the amount of research that is out there on kids that actually remember their past lives, it's huge. There's people that goes to other people's house and said, hey, you're my mom, your name is this, and it's amazing. It's amazing. So it's a scientific proof that reincarnation does exist. Now, do we believe in reincarnation? Like every time that I hear somebody talking about reincarnation, and everybody wanted to know what they were on their past life, I don't have this curiosity. I don't know if you guys do have it. I don't. I'm here to live my life. I had other people telling me, you know, about, oh, I saw you, and I think you did this, but nothing that I confirm or nothing that I actually go and try to search for. I'm not interested. But what is interesting about that is that if I tell Raphael his past life, and is either going to be a king or it's going to be somebody very important that did something really good or bad. Why? You know, there is so many famous people out there. Like if you see a world today with 7 billion people, how many people are famous? How many people are queens? And how many queens we have here on Earth today? Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody, when they go through their past life, they were either kings or whoever, you know. There was Cleopatra. I was Cleopatra. It's always something huge. It's never somebody, oh, it was just me being a servant, washing clothing. Because that's what we probably did. You know, we're probably working on the land, you know, and it's wonderful, wonderful. We don't have to be, you know, and what is this? It's the sense that all humans have. It's the sense that the necessity, unconsciousness, okay, unconsciousness, the necessity to be important. Mm-hmm. So you have that, we all do. We all do. We all want to be special. We all want to be special. So if we can't be special in this life, I am going to, you know, find other days that I was really, really special. You know, I'm just a regular person here in this life, but guess what I was on a past life?
It's like coming from Brazil to here.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, so... And people don't do it because they are bad people. Please don't get me wrong. You know, they're doing because we have to end this necessity of being special. Okay? You're not special. I'm not special. We are unique. When you are special, you're more than anybody. We're not. We don't have to be better than anybody. We don't have to be worse than anybody. We don't have to be better than even animals or any God's creations in life. We just need to see everything as God's creation without labeling good, bad, this, good, that. Why? Because this is the type of things. And I was listening to one of the interviewings, like Helen shows and all those kind of interviews. And one of the interviewer actually asked this question to a meeting. He said, why is everybody so important on their past life? Why everybody has to be a king? No, people notice this. People notice. If you don't believe in reincarnation, you start to notice, and you said, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. You know? And we are, if you believe, we are simple. That's all we are. We're simple souls. Okay? We don't need to feel better and not even worse than anybody. At the moment that, in order for you to feel good, you have to be better than other people, that is something wrong. That it's ego. You can call it whatever you want. We are just regular souls, God's beautiful creation. That's all we are. But not only me and not only us in this room, the whole planet. No one deserves more or less credit than you. If we treat life like that, we will stop, we will stop ourselves from suffering so much. We will eliminate probably 40% of our suffering. Life, it's not a competition. It's not. Life, it's not about you trying to. It's not. Plurality of worlds, that we believe there is life on other planets. Okay? Some religions don't believe that. We do. As a spiritist, we do believe. And that knowledge came in, 150 almost years ago. That Allan Kardec actually was talking about, he was explaining how, because when he made the question to the spirits, asking, is there life on the other planet? It was because to Allan Kardec, it made sense. Now, let's go back to 100 years ago. We're not talking about Allan Kardec with internet, Allan Kardec with the knowledge and science that we have today, that it's proving the amount of galaxies that it's out there. They didn't have that. They thought what existed was our solar system. Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, the moon. They had very small knowledge of what was going on over that. So when Allan Kardec asked the question to the spirit, And then he wrote this, indeed, they teach us that all this world are inhabited by corporeal beings, appropriate to the physical condition of each globe, that among the inhabitants of these globes, some are more, other less advantaged than us, from an intellectual, moral, and even physical point of view. So we believe that there is life. I was talking to a person of, I think she was a Christian or so. I said, listen, do you believe that there is maybe life on other planets? And they go, no, there is none. I was like, but the universe is, I know, but we're the only ones. And I just want you guys to understand the concept, because when the aliens actually make contact with us, it's going to be a huge problem for a lot of religions, not for Spiritism, because it's been here. We already knew that for the longest time, right? But for other religions, will be a problem. And some conspiracy theory out there that I'm not going to say is right or wrong, it says that the United States and a lot of countries, they do have contacts with aliens, and that's why we have all this technology developing on the last year. I'm not saying, guys, I'm not affirming, I'm not saying it is, I'm not saying it's not, I'm just letting you know that this is what they're saying over there. And the reason why they don't tell us is because most of the people will freak out. And Allan Kardec goes further in that, saying that we can communicate with them via mediumship. And that's when Allan Kardec actually published an interview that he did with somebody that was from Jupiter. Okay, and he gives, how is Jupiter? How's the life over there? You know, it was, I think people brought this subject here before. So, and this is one of the basic principle of Spiritism, and we are very comfortable with this idea, right? Well, is anybody uncomfortable with that? No, because it's a matter of time right now. If you look at the stars, and if you look at the galaxies, if you look at the planets like Earth that science already discovered, it's a matter of time before we will actually have a communication with them. And it might be in our lifetime, you know, maybe in 20, 30 years, I'm not sure. But I'm not saying that we're going to talk to them in spirit. We already do. I'm talking about them actually physically making contact with us. And then, according to Allan Kardec, there was worlds over there that are less advantaged than us. And there are worlds that are way more advantaged than us. So that's what we call an evolution. So I think that we have kind of like a treasure that Allan Kardec left us. I go everywhere. I don't only study Spiritism. You give me a subject that I'm interested on, I go all the way. I don't care what it is, because I like it. And I always come back to Spiritism. Because there is, I mean, you will find neuroscience making progress, improving in one part of the things, and you go in, and the only thing you can say, yes, they are confirming Allan Kardec. Almost nothing new. And then when we come to André Luiz and other meetings that we have it over here, it's very hard to people to bring subject that Spiritism didn't touch. It's wonderful because it's a confirmation. For us, serve as a confirmation that the work that Allan Kardec brought us it's wonderful for humanity, wonderful for us, starting with us. And then what we do here in the Spirit Centers, besides what I started my lecture on, forgiving, is keep that message alive. We need to. We are the managers. If we don't manage this information, it's going to die. And then our grandkids or whatever, the next 2-3 generation, they're going to say, what teaching? What? Just like the ancient teachings that we are trying to go back there and understand, and it makes no sense to us. Just like magnetism, that in order for us to get information, we have to go back hundreds of years ago to get the information. Because it died. And then we have to read from the book, and we have to make all the work, and we have to start all over again. Imagine if we got the information from the Vedas, for an example, or all the ancient philosophy that it's out there. They were so right. Imagine if we had followed them. Imagine if we had got that science and bring it. What would be this world today when it comes to spirituality? But what happened? We allowed to die. And if we don't do the same thing with Spiritism, it's going to die. It's going to die. Because this new generation, they don't want to hear about a God, that it's a man, that it's out there, that is punish you, that is watching everything that you do. It doesn't make sense to the young generation. It doesn't. And when we come here at the center and we do volunteer works, it's just because this message is so meaningful. You got to understand the meaning behind. And then you get involved. And then you say, you know what? I'll do my part. Maybe I don't have the time. I don't come to the center 6, 7 nights a week. I'll come through 2, 3, 1, 4, whatever. But I am going to help this message stay alive. And the only way we can do that, guys, is with centers like this and others all over the world, because we need to have a place to go. We need to have a place that we can actually go and listen to it. And then when we come together, as a team, we will make sure that not in this generation, we won't allow it. The message is going to be alive. And we're going to talk about it. And when kids comes in, we're going to talk about it with them. And when the young people come in, we're going to talk about with them, with friends. And we're going to do everything that we possibly can just to allow into this message to live. It's been 150 years old and needs to be a lot older than that to do what it needs to be done in humanity, which is touch your heart, touch my heart, see the importance of spirituality, recognize who you are as a spirit, and live your life with charity, with love, and peace. That's what's all about it. So thank you for listening to me today.